What's going on, guys? In this video we're going to be installing BMR's engine mounts, some people call them motor mounts, on a Dodge Challenger or Charger. So here they are. We're going to jump straight into it. So these are the mounts. They come in two different variations, solid mounts and then poly. I went with the poly mounts. It's going to give us a little bit of give. And one cool feature about this, you'll notice these here. So they actually give you about ½ an inch to be able to lower the engine. So these are ½ inch spacers that you can essentially lower your engine in ¼ inch increments. I'm gonna try and actually lower it because I want to play with a little bit of drive shaft alignment, and it'll also bring our center of gravity a little bit lower. One thing, and also the instructions, they're gonna be on BMR's website, so you can just pull it up there. Everything's in color and you can check them all out there. But one thing it does say is to make sure that you have adequate clearance, especially on the power steering rack if you've got an electric power steering rack. So I've got one of these Milodon oil pans and it looks like we're gonna be okay. So just make sure that you do check that. I essentially can fit my whole hand in underneath here, so we should be good. And you'll also notice that we've got a removable cross member here. So we actually sell these on shopboosted.com if you want to be able to service and work on your Charger Challenger a little bit easier. I've got these on shopboosted.com. You can see mine's out. The center section's over there. It's fully removable. That way you can work on the oil pan. And we just installed this oil pan also. So you're gonna want to remove your rack. It's pretty simple. You can completely take it off like I'm gonna show you here, or you can just hang it. But if you pop out your tie rod ends, and then right here, there's a bolt there, another bolt right there, and then your intermediate shaft right here, just separate that, and then you can take the whole thing out. I'm gonna choose to take it out of the way. Also, I do have the starter motor out of here just coincidentally because we were working on it, but starter motor would be here and it would make it a little bit harder. So it's only 3 bolts to pop the starter off. I would give yourself a little bit more room, but that's just me. So this is still loose because I was working on other stuff. So I'm gonna take out the rack out of the way, and then we've got all the clearance in the world to be able to do this. As far as sizes, these are gonna be a 16 mil bolt. These are 15s, and then you're also gonna need to take this off. It's a little bit hard to see, but this cross brace that goes right here. So this goes over to your alternator. I've got this loose. So let's get to work. We're gonna support the engine, and then we can start to remove all the bolts, all the hardware, and we'll get the job done. All right, so I'm gonna do this side first. So I took the 15s out of our engine side mount. I took the 16s out of here. So now I'm gonna manipulate this. Might have to lift the engine up a little bit more, and then we can get this whole assembly out of here. So let me do that and we'll get it out. All right, so that's out of there. Heat shield came out separately. As far as taking it out, again, I got the removable cross member. I also have long tubes, so we don't have a ton of room through here, but I was able to get it straight out through there. So I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna unbolt this engine mount from here. All right, so a 15 mil nut, that zips off. And then that we can pretty much discard the old fluid filled one. And then now we can get our new one. Still trying to decide how much I want to potentially lower. I might just try removing one and just kind of see where we're at with that. So essentially this is gonna go like this, and then we're gonna put the bolts from there, top down. All right, so this is the setup. So the bolt has to go from the top down and then put the nut on the bottom. You choose what kind of spacers you wanna run. I will tell you though, when you change these spacers, you're also changing your driveline angle. So you have to be very careful with what you are doing here. So you want your pinion angle to be parallel with your actual differential. So just be aware of that if you start messing with angles. So this gets torqued down to 45 foot-pounds. The instructions say to leave it loose so that you can clock it, but I find that even though it's got 45 foot-pounds on it, I can still rotate it because you have to be able to clock this correctly. So once you bolt this, you got to be able to clock this, so rotate this to get the bolts in the K-member, but we look like we're good to go. So let's throw this in here, get the bolts in, see how she looks. All right, I'll show you guys kind of what combo of tools I'm using. So I got a 15, I got this small, I don't know, maybe 2-inch swivel on the end here. And then I've been able to just get at all these bolts like this. So there's that one, there's that one, and then this one I'm able to put my ratchet like that, get to that one, and then same thing, this one over here. I would take out your oil filter, it gives you more room, so do an oil change at the same time. There you go, there's that one on there. So that's how I tighten those. And then as I was lowering it, I put the 2 bolts in there, clocked those 2, so you can see those there, the ones that go into the K-member. And now I can pretty much set this down. and I haven't done this side yet, so we'll set this one down, and then I'm gonna shift my stand over to the driver's side and get that one in place. So this one looks a little bit more fun, but I'll keep you guys posted if this one's any worse or any easier. So far the bolts on the passenger side have been fairly easy. So I got this one. It's gonna be hard to show you guys here, but that I was able to reach there. A little bit higher up here. We got that one there. And then this side, fairly straightforward. Lower, and then the upper. And then the ones that go into the K-member, I was able to just get a 3/8 ratchet in there. So now it's loose. Let's see how easy it is to get out of here. Oh, I kind of got it moving. Let's see. All right. Looks like it's coming out. Hopefully I didn't screw myself up here with putting my support stand right there. We'll find out in a second. Cool. Gonna have to play a little bit of the game here, but I think she'll come out one way or another. So let me set the camera down. I'll let you guys know how I get it out, but I need two hands on this thing. Just to make my life easier, I'm gonna separate the two in here. So I just aimed it this way, got the 15 mil nut for the actual engine mount there, and then I should be able to wiggle this off of here. I should have probably taken the heat shield off as well. I was trying to get greedy with it, taking the whole thing out at once, but there's the rubber portion there. Let's see. Might be a little fun to get this out with the heat shield. Alright, she is a-coming. So, alright. Yeah, as suspected, I kind of put the support stand in my perfect way. I think we're home free. Almost. Alright, she is out. So, and instead of these rattly heat shields, I'm actually gonna be putting something else on there. So I'll show you guys what I'm gonna use instead. Let me take the heat shield off. We'll get this other mount prepped up. You guys already know the deal. Bolt goes from the top down, and you can decide what spacers you do or don't want to use. I'm taking 1/4 inch one out, and we'll get this all set up. All right, here it is, torqued it down, and still same thing. I'm able to rotate it to clock it, so we'll get it in and get the bolts installed. All right, so here's what I ended up doing instead of those big heat shields was I wrapped some heat shielding around it, and then I put those metal ties on it. So I'll link that stuff down below if you guys want to do it that way, but that's all in there. Everything's tight. Tightened all my 15s on the bracket to the block, and then also tightened the 16s here that go from the mount to the K-member. That's all done. I'm gonna go ahead and don't forget to put your alternator bracket on. I still gotta do that one. The one that goes over from the alternator to that one stud. We'll get that on here, and then I can start putting everything back in here. And again, I'll link this stuff down below. This is what I used. You guys can probably try to find the perfect size, but I went ahead and I just cut pretty much like a 2.5 inch strip or so, and then just use the metal ties, and then I've got this little DEI tool here that you can turn them with and make them look nice. All right guys, well the install is done. I wanted to get a chance to drive it, kind of see how everything feels. So I will tell you, you will get a little bit more feedback and feeling in the steering wheel, but it's nothing excessive. It's not like I'm rattling the dash. You know, plastic pieces aren't making any noise in the vehicle. Again, we did go with the poly version, so they are going to have a little bit more give to them than the solid ones will, but definitely a much more performance feel in my opinion. So everything's good, everything's working, and also the engine's not going to be shifting around, rocking around. So I'll link everything down in the description below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Also hit the subscribe button if you guys want to see more videos. We work on a lot of cool projects here. So thanks for watching guys, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.